Hello, movie lovers. This Does It Hold Up? I'm Adam, and we are back with another episode of Oscar Redux, where I pretend to travel back in time to a different year and redo the Academy Awards, well, 9 categories out of the Academy Awards, and tell you who I think should have won, because the Academy, as we know, doesn't always get it right. With me, as always, is the disembodied voice, Emily.
Hello.
And she will be reading out who the nominees were in each category, who the Oscars picked, who the Academy picked, and then I will let you know if they were right or wrong. As we're going, make sure you go into the comments below and let me know who you would have picked for each one of these categories. The last episode was 2011, so the next logical step, let's go to 2012 and redo the Academy Awards.
We are starting with Actor in a Supporting Role. The nominees this year were Kenneth Branagh, My Week with Marilyn, Jonah Hill, Moneyball, Nick Nolte, Warrior, Christopher Plummer, Beginners, and Max von Sydow, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. The winner? Christopher Plummer, Beginners.
I love Christopher Plummer, but I really just think this performance in Beginners is mediocre. He's a great actor. I just don't know if the character was really there or if, anything behind him really worked for Beginners. So unfortunately, my apologies, I'm taking the award away from him because I'm giving it to Nick Nolte for Warrior. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend that you do go see it. This movie is absolutely phenomenal, and there are just moments in this movie that will break you with Nick Nolte. He is that damn good. So he deserved this award. Apologies, Mr. Plummer.
Next is Actor in a Leading Role. The nominees were Damien Bichir, A Better Life, George Clooney, The Descendants, Jean Dujardin, The Artist, Gary Oldman, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Brad Pitt, Moneyball. The winner? Jean Dujardin, The Artist.
Jean Dujardin is good. He's good. That's really all I can say about him. I don't know a lot of his other work, and he was okay in The Artist. The Artist itself, just let's be honest, really isn't that good of a movie. So I'm going to take his award away. Not that this actor really needs this award, but his performance is just absolutely amazing in this movie, and it's just an incredible movie as well. I struggled. I almost gave his co-star the Best Supporting Actor just a second ago, went a different way, but I'm giving it to Brad Pitt for Moneyball. This is a Brad Pitt unlike what we've seen from Brad Pitt, and he just makes it work. This is a very likable, unlikable character that borders this line where you're not real sure where he's going, and I think Pitt's performance is really what makes this movie stand out, unless of course you're a fan of analytics and you just love that whole aspect, but he really puts in maybe one of the best performances of his entire career in this movie. So, Brad Pitt, Moneyball.
Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees were Berenice Bejo, The Artist, Jessica Chastain, The Help, Melissa McCarthy, Bridesmaids, Janet McTeer, Albert Nobbs, and Octavia Spencer, The Help. The winner? Octavia Spencer for The Help.
I adore Octavia Spencer, especially in The Help. She is phenomenal. But I'm going to go a little weird here because the Academy never recognizes these types of movies. I'm going to give it to Melissa McCarthy for Bridesmaids because that movie is funny. It has some great moments. The first half is better than the second half. It's kind of a mixed bag of a movie. But there's one thing that is certain when you're watching it, is Melissa McCarthy is going to make you laugh and cry and feel, and she's just incredible in this role. It was such a great introduction to her as an actress, and the fact that the Academy never really recognizes comedies, this was their opportunity to do so, and I can't believe they didn't take it. So I'm giving it to her, Melissa McCarthy.
Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees were Glenn Close, Albert Nobbs, Viola Davis, The Help, Rooney Mara, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Meryl Streep, The Iron Lady, and Michelle Williams, My Week with Marilyn. The winner? Meryl Streep, The Iron Lady.
I just feel like this year I am loving the people who won because I think they're all incredible, but I just don't know if they should have won for this specific time because I'm giving this one to Viola Davis for The Help. Viola Davis is one of those actresses that just always stands out. She's always phenomenal. She always transcends the material that she's working with. And yet she's never really in the conversation when we're talking about some of the best actresses of all time. And I don't know why that is. So why not reward her for the work that she is doing and will continue to do over the years to come as well? So I'm going to give it to Viola Davis for The Help.
Next is animated feature film. The nominees were Rango, A Cat in Paris, Chicho and Rita, Kung Fu Panda 2, and Puss in Boots. The winner? Rango.
This is stupid. Rango's not a good movie, everybody. It's not. Go back and watch it. It's just not a good movie. There's way better movies in this category, but I'm going to give it to Puss in Boots. I think the movie was incredibly well made. Animation style is wonderful to look at. It's beautiful. Voice acting is all top tier. There's just something special about Puss in Boots, and the fact that it could separate itself from the Shrek universe in which it first started and be on the same level as that movie, which did win the very first ever Animated Feature Academy Award, they probably should have recognized this one as well. So, Puss in Boots.
Moving on to writing original, the nominees were The Artist, Bridesmaids, Margin Call, Midnight in Paris, and A Separation. The winner? Midnight in Paris.
When I gave Melissa McCarthy the Supporting Actress Award not long ago, I mentioned how the Academy doesn't recognize comedies, and here's another opportunity where they could have and should have. Because I'm giving the award to Bridesmaids. I think it's an incredibly well-written movie. I think the directing really is what hurt this movie down, why it feels like a mixed bag, and why it feels like there's a definitive middle point of two different movies smashed together. I don't think that's the screenplay's fault. The story is all there, it's all complete. Just what they chose to do with it might have been the problem and hurt its chances in winning this award, but I can see through that, so I'm giving it to Bridesmaids.
Writing adapted, the nominees were The Descendants, Hugo, The Ides of March, Moneyball, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. The winner? The Descendants.
I'm going to give this one to... I'm at a toss-up. I think Hugo is one of maybe the most underrated movies of Martin Scorsese's entire career. I don't think a lot of people saw it or love it, but you probably should. It's such a great movie, and it's exactly what the Academy loves, a love letter to old Hollywood. So the fact that it didn't win here is a little surprising. My other nominee that I would have given it to is Moneyball. I think that movie is so well written, so clever and smart, and it just does something very interesting where it's a baseball movie, not really about the baseball, and yet it's just as engaging as if you were watching some playoff game where it's a one-run game in the bottom of the ninth and people are up to... It's just as thrilling, and it's people just sitting in a room talking most of the time. So I'm at a toss-up between those two. Let me know in the comments below which one you would give it to. I'm going to lean towards Moneyball. I just think it's just too well written, made such an interesting story out of really nothing. So that's what's going to get the award from me.
Directing, the nominees were Woody Allen, Midnight in Paris, Michel Hazanavicius, The Artist, Terrence Malick, The Tree of Life, Alexander Payne, The Descendants, and Martin Scorsese, Hugo. The winner? Michel Hazanavicius, The Artist.
That is an incredibly hard last name to say. Congratulations, Emily. You didn't get it 100%, but you were so freaking close. So freaking close.
I tried.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do any better. So I think Michel, wonderful director, wonderful. The Artist, not so much. I'm giving it to Martin Scorsese for Hugo. He did something completely different here. We're used to him doing these very grown-up movies, these very over-the-top movies, hard-hitting movies with a lot of swearing and a lot of violence and a lot of. And here he scaled everything back and gave us this lovely story that just he kind of put his heart into, which we hadn't seen from him in a while when this movie came out. So I'm giving it to Scorsese for Hugo.
And the final award, as always, is Best Picture. The nominees were The Artist, The Descendants, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Help, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, The Tree of Life, and War Horse. The winner? The Artist.
I know why they gave The Artist the award. I know why The Artist won a ton of awards this year. It's because Hollywood loves to go into the past and relive what they consider the glory days of Hollywood, the black and white, non-talking pictures, like silent era stuff. Well, too bad. We're in the talkies era now, and we have been for decades by this point. So awarding this is just a little weird, which is why I can't believe they just didn't award Hugo for this exact same thing. It's a love letter to old Hollywood mixed with the modern sensibilities of new Hollywood. It's the perfect combination of both by a director that has been overlooked time and time again at this very award show. And this was a chance to give him not only directing, but also Best Picture. So I'm giving it to Hugo. I know you're probably going to argue with me. There's tons of other good movies in this list, and that's okay because that would be your choice. My choice is Hugo by Martin Scorsese. All right, that's it for the show this episode. Going back to 2012 to redo the Academy Awards, I feel like they got a lot wrong this year, which is not surprising. I feel like as we get closer to 2024, which we will be doing before the 2025 Oscars happens, they get more and more wrong each and every year. It's almost like they've lost touch. Bunch of old white men sitting in Hollywood losing touch to the actual reality of what is happening. Go figure. Can't wait to do another episode when we go to 2013, which will be coming later this week. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until I see you then, just remember to be good to yourself, kind to others, and keep watching movies.